したいと思います。で、飲み物をまだお持ちじゃない方、手元にない方は、あそこの入り口、受付近くにお茶とビールとビールがいっぱいあるので、ぜひぜひいっぱい飲んでください。いつも参加してくださっている方はご存知かもしれないんですけれども、今回は乾杯とかの温度はないんで、ご自由に席の近くの方とでも乾杯でもして今日も一日お疲れ様でしたと飲んでください。
ちゃんとお店で買ってきました。みんな東京のシール今輸入らしいんですよ。このシールない在庫が気まぐれで全然入ってこない。昼間とか結構みんな歩きスマホ多いかもしれない。あ、そうですね。戻しました。ってなると、
はい、じゃあそれでは始めていきたいと思います。PHP 勉強会、今日は番外編ということで始めていきます。よろしくお願いします。まずはじめにささっと消えるんで、もうちょっとお待ちください。最初に会場の説明をトッツさんからお願いします。少々お待ちください。
今いないよ。
あ、わかりました。あれ男性トイレです。わかりました。
Supposed to have introduction from the owner of the office, but
説明してくださる小沢さんという方がいらっしゃらなかったので省きます。今日は、イベントスペースドッツさんをお借りしました。皆さんありがとうございますということで、綺麗な会場なのでとても綺麗なままにしてください。汚しちゃったりしたらスタッフの方にお声掛けいただければすぐ掃除しに行くんで、すぐこぼしたりしたらお声掛けください。で、ゴミ箱、ゴミ袋を用意してます。一番じゃないですけど、後ろの方に4つビニール袋を用意してまして、燃える燃えない缶、ペットボトルで分けてます。で、缶とかの飲み残しとかはなるべく一緒に捨てないようにしてください。お手洗いとかに流してから袋に入れてください。で、 お手洗いのお知らせ、ご連絡です。左入り口、扉出てもらって、左手の方に確か女性トイレがあって、右手の方に男性トイレがあるそうです。なんか探してみてください。で、あと Wi-Fi、会場の Wi-Fi もご用意してもらってます。こっちのホワイトボードと、あとこっち側はあそこのカウンターっぽいところの黒いところ、それです。ありがとうございます。あれが Wi-Fi なんで、もしつなげてない方はつなげてください。で、再度のご連絡ですけど、飲み物もありますので、喉乾いたらいっぱい飲んでください。どれぐらいかな。あと、そうだ、写真撮影、会場の写真撮影してます。Twitter とか SNS にアップするかもしれないんで、ちょっと顔出しダメですという方いらっしゃいますでしょうか。お、大丈夫ですかね。はい、じゃあバンバン乗っけていきたいと思います。お願いですかね。はい、じゃあ早速メインの方に移っていきたいと思います。じゃあ変わりましょうか。
Hello. I don't know what just happened. Well, first of all, thank you for coming. I just have one question. Who understands English to some extent?
英語わかる方どれぐらいいらっしゃいます？
So for the others, it's okay here, we'll do the translation, so thank you.
ざっくり訳しますんで。
Okay. Was there anything you wanted to get sorted before, or should we start? Okay. Good. So I'm Jordi Boggiano. I'm one of the two maintainers of Composer, and also other projects. But we'll only talk about Composer tonight. And it's the first time I'm doing a live translation talk, so I have to keep in mind to stop, otherwise he's in trouble. I'll do my best, otherwise you stop me. Okay. So first of all, I just wanted to look a bit at the state of the ecosystem of Composer packages and PHP as well in general.
最初にコンポーザーとパッケージストの状況のお話をします。
So some statistics. We started the project 5 years ago. So we had the 5 years anniversary in April. I don't know which point to stop. You can see this, so it's probably understandable for everyone. So like the visits and unique visitors, those are from Google Analytics. So these are like 400,000 people that come to the website every month, which I think is a lot, because there are probably a lot of people that don't go to the website that still use Composer.
5年前に始まったプロジェクトで、4月に5周年の記念日がありました。で、ウェブサイトのトラフィックは Google Analytics で測っていて、月間で40万ぐらい。コンポーザー使っててもウェブサイト来ない人っていうのもいると思いますけども、それでもこれぐらいの数が必要です。
So yeah, because it's very difficult to track how many people are using a project, right? For all open source projects, this is the same problem, and yeah, so this is the best numbers we have, kind of. And I don't know how many PHP developers there are, but you know, I don't know how like if all PHP developers use it yet or not. Probably not. It's a big number already, so that's nice to see. We have 100,000 packages, well, a bit more than that. That's also a big number. I don't know if we need more packages. I remember we discussed this a bit in the emails before the event. I would say yes, we need more packages, but also we don't need more of the same packages. So some things already exist 10 times, and adding more of them does not help.
そうですね、ユーザーの数を数えるのはすごく難しいので、PHP のユーザーの数かも、はっきりわからないですが、サイトのビジターで見たときに、20万ユニークビジターが月間に来ているっていうのがすごく大きい数ですので、パッケージが、10万ありますよということで、すごい大きい数だけど、でももっとパッケージはあった方がいいです。で、ただ同じ内容のパッケージとかはいらないでですね。
And finally, yeah, the 2.4 billion installations, this is very big numbers, that's nice to see. Nothing to comment there. Okay, the PHP versions, I think that's very interesting. So these are taken from the installations. So every time you install packages, Composer sends a ping to packages saying, okay, there was some stuff installed. And we have the PHP version in the user agent. So we can track which versions are used. So obviously, these are not unique installations, so we can't, if you install twice, we count you twice. So that the numbers are not completely accurate, but still it shows more or less the repartition of the PHP version usage.
これはインストールした時の、バージョンをトラックしているものです。で、これただユニークとかは取ってないので2回インストールすれば2回カウントされます。で、カウントの方法はコンポーザーインストールした時に、コンポーザーコマンドが送ってくる、ユーザーエージェント、そこに PHP のバージョンが入っているので、それを見たものということになります。で、今の現状を、それなりに表しています。
Yeah, if you look at this, I think it's very impressive in a way that everyone, I mean, like 90% are using one of the last 3 versions. That's good. However, the PHP 5.5 I think was end of life last week or 2 weeks ago. So that's like a third, or like even adding the rest, it's like almost 40% that are using not like unmaintained versions of PHP, and that's not so good.
大半のバージョン、ユーザーが、直近3バージョン使っているというのはまあいいことなんですけども、PHP5.5 みたいにもエンドオブライフ迎えているものを使っている人がまだ結構いるっていうのはあまり良くないことです。
Those numbers, I don't have a nice chart, but they represent the requirements in packages. So we only look at the master versions, so the dev master, so to see which version, like which minimum version does a package require. So this is only obviously the open source packages. This is taken from the packages database, and it shows that still 5.3 is the baseline, 5.4, 5.5 are starting to get used, and like 5, 6, and 7, almost nobody is requiring that. I think most packages are compatible with all the versions up to 7, but I think this should really move faster, because we see that already most people are on 5.5 or 6 or 7, and this is not represented by the ecosystem. Like the libraries are not requiring what the people are using. So in a way, we're moving slower than we should be, or we could be, because then you can use new features and everything. So I think it's worth releasing new major versions of libraries more often and like bumping the PHP requirements.
これはパッケージのデータベースの方から引いてきた値で、マスターが見ているミニマムのバージョンを集計したものです。で、見ると、まだ 5.3 が一番多くはなってるんですけども、だんだん新しい方に移っていってるっていうことですね。実際に利用されてるのとはまた違うスピードで変化していくけども、状況が変わっているという感じですね。
Okay. Let's go into more composery things. So deployment, everyone at some point you reach production, so you deploy your code, and there are some things to keep in mind there. First of all, this platform configuration, this is not new, it's something we added last year, but I don't think a lot of people use it. Basically, it allows you to describe your production environment. So you say, in production, I have PHP version 5.6.4, and I have the Xmongo or any other like extension packages. Maybe.
これは新しい機能ではないですが、プロダクション環境の、バージョンを指定するっていう、機能です。
That was a good summary. It's a lot shorter sometimes than what I say. I talk a lot. So the benefit of this is if you update, like if, let's say on my development machine, I use PHP 7, and I update and I get a new version of a package that only works with PHP 7, then when I deploy, I break production. This is not good, right? So this tells Composer that no matter what version you run it with, it should always assume you have PHP 5.6.4. So it forces that version for the dependency resolution, and it makes sure that you don't install things that will not work on your production server.
まあ、例えば自分のラップトップが PHP7 が入っているところで、そこでアップデートした後、それをプロダクションに持っていくと、プロダクションが 5.6 とかだったらまあ壊れてしまいますけども、まあ、そういうことがないように、プロダクションの環境がこのバージョンですよっていうのを指定してあげましょうということです。逆に言うとこれがないと、コンポーザーコマンドを実行した時の状況を見て最新が入ってきちゃうよっていう話ですね。
Second big step is to commit the log file. So is anyone not committing the log file?
ロックファイルをコミットしていない人はいませんか？
No shame, you can.
ロックファイルをコミットしましょう。
Okay, not many, or maybe you don't want to admit it. That's okay. No, you really should do it. The reason is this ensures that you deploy the exact same packages than you have tested in development. That was clear enough in English, you think?
まあ、そのロックファイルの話大丈夫ですよね。I believe we are okay. そのロックファイルがちゃんとコミットされてないと、環境が違った時に違うことになっちゃうので、ちゃんとロックファイルもコミットしてやりましょうねっていう大丈夫ですね。
Okay, so then the next step obviously would be to run install. On production, you should never run update. It's the same reason. If you run update, you might get a newer version than you tested with in development, and this might break everything. You want to run install. You want to run it with this -- optimize autoloader flag, because this makes sure that the autoloader is like dumped into the optimized form, and this can reduce the runtime by quite a bit. Like depending on the project, if you have a framework like Laravel or Symfony or something that has a lot of classes, for every request you load, maybe 50 or 100 classes. And if you don't have the optimized autoloader, it will do a lot of file system like I/O checks, and that tends on simple pages you sometimes see like the autoloader taking 30% of the request time. And once it's optimized, it can go down to maybe 5% or something. That's a lot more reasonable. And it's performance for free as well.
まず本番環境でアップデートしないで、本番環境でやるのは常にインストールだけですよっていうところです。で、さらにそのインストールするときに、オートローダーを早くするオプションですね。そのシンフォニーとかクラス数がすごく多いプロジェクトになると、例えばリクエストの処理のうちの2割とか3割がオートローディングの処理に使われてしまうなんていうことがあるんですが、 ここの部分にオプションを指定しておくと、オートローダーを最適化して出力して、処理が早くなりますという話です。
Then finally we have the no suggest, no progress flags. These just disable some output. It's nothing really important, but some people don't like to have a lot of text flashing, or you can even use the quiet flag and then everything is gone except for errors. It's good if you want a clean output.
あとはオプションつけると、余分な出力がなくなって、見やすくなります。
Okay, then let's look at just some new features that have been added in the last few weeks, months, or just others. They've been there for a while, but some people keep asking about them because they don't know they're there. So even though it's in the documentation, I thought maybe it's good to highlight them.
最近入った機能で、よく知られてないものを紹介します。ドキュメントもあるんですけど、なぜかよく聞かれるので、お話しします。
We have two new commands. There's why and why not. They're actually the names. I forgot the names. Those are the aliases, but they're way cooler than the real name of the command, so I forgot the real one. Doesn't matter. Let's call them why not. First of all, why? You give it a package name that's installed, and it will tell you why it's installed. So if you look at your list of installed packages and you're like, I don't understand why this is even loaded because I don't need it, or you think you don't need it, then this shows you, okay, PHP unit requires prophecy, so that's why prophecy is installed.
why と why not っていう、コマンドです。もともとはエリアスで別のコマンド名があったらしいんですけど、こっちの方が見やすいので why と why not になりました。で why はパッケージの名前を指定すると、そのパッケージがどうしてインストールされているのかっていうのを、依存関係をたどって教えてくれます。この場合だと、プロフェシーっていうのがなんでインストールされているかっていうと、PHP ユニットの 5.3.2 が、リクワイアしているからですっていうふうに教えてくれます。
Yeah, there's also a -t flag to see a tree view, so that you see, okay, you have your root package, which is your composer JSON, that requires PHP unit, that requires prophecy, so you see the whole dependency tree there.
-t をつけると、ツリー構造で見れます。
The opposite, why not? It's about the same, except it's for something that is not installed and you wonder why it's not installed. So in this case, maybe I expect Symfony 3.0 to be installed, but when I update, it does not install it. Like, why not? Then you ask why not, and it tells you actually Symfony 3.0 requires PHP 5.5, but you only have 5.3, so this does not work.
why not は、逆に、インストールされてないパッケージ名を指定すると、なんでインストールされてないのかを教えてくれます。例えば、シンフォニーコンソールの 3.0 が入ってると思ったのに入ってないと思った。で、調べてみると、これ PHP のバージョンが古いから、シンフォニーコンソールが入らなかったので入ってませんよっていうふうに、教えてくれます。
The outdated is also newish, I think a few months now. So you run Composer outdated, and it shows you all the packages that have updates available. So it's like running an update in a way, but it goes beyond your requirements. So if you have a fixed requirement for something, it will still show you the latest available. So you see maybe you should update your requirements or something.
これアップデートがやるのと同じように、最新バージョンがあるよっていうのを教えてくれるっていうコマンドですね。
And there, just one thing that's a bit confusing maybe, you have two colors, red and yellow. The red is to highlight that it's more important updates, because they are like, according to semantic versioning, they are safe updates. So it's only patch version updates. So as you see, like 3.18.14 going to 3.18.31, these should only be bug fixes, so there's very little chance of any breakage. So updating that is safe, and you should do it. The yellow one, it's less guaranteed that it will work, so it shows you that there's an update available, but it's less important or less requires more attention, so it's less urgent to do it.
まあ、色が違うのは赤い方が、大事な変更で黄色い方がそうでもない。So yellow is less important, right? I mean,
Yes.
well, look at the second line from the bottom. So it says 1.2 and 2.1, and it seems important.
No, but that's the point is the update is it's more important. That's why I say it's confusing. I agree it's a bit backwards, but we just took the convention from NPM because I thought like having them do the same is more important than being right. It's a more important upgrade, but it's less urgent, I would say, because it's more dangerous. So you should wait and you should check it a bit deeper. While the red ones, they're like, you can update this now and it should be fine.
So anyway, people have to care about the length version. It's going to be important.
More, yeah, the red ones, they're all important, I guess, but the red ones you can do safely, so they, you can get rid of them easier, let's say.
まあ、若干分かりにくいですが、赤が重要で黄色がそうでもないということになります。
セマンティックバージョニングじゃないですか。一番下のちっちゃい数字は上げても互換性が保たれるじゃないですか、PC。ああ、2つ目が。
なんで黄色のメジャーバージョンアップは、もしかしたら自分が用意があるかもしれないからそんなに重要じゃない。
How does this command judge this update is important or not? It's judged by the version number.
Yeah, it's just about semantic versioning. We assume that everyone respects nicely semantic versioning, which is not reality, but it's the best we can do.
まあ、できる範囲でセマンティックバージョニングで判断してますよと。
Are you all familiar, by the way, with semantic versioning?
セマンティックバージョニングを知っている方っておる。
Mostly. If you're not, you can go to semver.org or .com and read about it. It's very important, I think, because it gives you a contract between users of a library and publishers of a library that gives you an easy way by putting a version number on something to communicate if things are going to break or not. That's very, very important.
semver.com っていうウェブサイトにセマンティックバージョンについての説明が載ってますので見てみてください。
So this, I'm not sure if it's going to be clear because I tried to explain it earlier and it felt like it was not very clear. But anyway, we have two ways to install packages in Composer. We have source installs, which means git clone, and we have dist installs, which means downloading a zip and extracting it. So you can set this preferred install. You can set it for everything. By default, if you just say preferred install dist or source, then this applies to everything. But people often ask, how can I specify this for some packages? Because they have like internal packages or just like packages that they have in the company, and they want these to be always cloned because then they can go in the vendor directory and edit directly there and then commit. So it's a lot easier for the workflow if you can just go there in the vendor directory instead of having to change the project somewhere else and push it and run an update. That's a lot more work.
これはパッケージごとに、インストールする方法を指定できるというやつで、どういう時かっていうと、その社内のライブラリとかでインストールされたものをその編集してさらにコミットしたりする時ですね。その場合はソースっていうのを指定しておくと、クローンすると。で、リストっていう方に指定されているものは、パッケージとしてダウンロードしてくるというふうになります。なので、もし何も指定しないと全部リストが入って ってしまった場合は、別のパッケージ編集したいときは別のその Git リポジトリに行って編集してプッシュしてで元の方に戻ってまたアップデートするっていうふうにしなきゃいけないんですけど、それをしない場合ですね、こういうやり方ができます。
And yeah, I don't know if he explained it, but I forgot. Just that by defining this, there is like /star. You just any package in that vendor would be installed as source. So it's pretty clear. This is like kind of another way to achieve this, or to go one step further. If you have a lot of private packages that you rely on and that you have like cross dependencies, especially I think in small teams where everyone works on the same project and changes the same few projects all the time, it's really annoying to always like push to one project and then update the other one to get the changes, and then you have to update like multiple projects that have the same dependency. It's a lot of overhead that is not really useful, because usually those small projects like in small teams are very integrated and it all belongs together anyway. So one good thing in my opinion is to just switch it to this monorepo concept of having all into one repository, and then you can use this path repository to kind of still have internal dependencies within that one repo.
その社内のパッケージみたいなものが複数あって、それが一つのプロジェクトになって動いてるみたいな時に、さっきも言ったような形になりますが、こっちのリポジトリに行って変更してプッシュして元の方に戻ってアップデートっていうのを何度も繰り返していくっていうのはすごく効率が悪いですと。でそれを避けるための方法として、モノリポっていうのがあります。なので、プロジェクトの中に、社内パッケージがいくつか入ってるみたいなのを想像してください。
Just as an example of how this works, so you have a repo would be the Git repository, and project A, project B, project C, you can have multiple projects, and then a core folder, for example, that would be a dependency of most of the others. So I mean, we use this where I work because we have the main website, and then we have a bunch of small like API services or worker services. And we want to be able to deploy these individually, so they're in different projects, but they all use this same core library that has most of our like business logic. So whenever we update core, we usually want to update all the others, but like before we used to have to do a lot of composer updates, and this was really annoying. So now we can just commit, and all of the projects have the latest state immediately, since it's all just one repo.
これはレポってなってるのが1個のリポジトリになってて、その中に、コアというのがあって、これはその社内のライブラリーみたいなのがあって、それを使っているウェブサイトとか API とかそういうマイクロなものがいっぱいあるようなイメージです。でプロジェクトの方は、それぞれのプロジェクトで、個別にデプロイすることができます。でただこれが1個のリポジトリになっているので、いろいろ変更した後、丸ごとコミットすれば、全部の、プロジェクトが最初の状態になります。
And yeah, just as a technical note, what happens when you do this, when you install, it will do a symlink basically from core into the vendor directory of the other projects. So if you edit the file, it's just immediately propagates everywhere.
実際のところは、シムリンクになるので、参照しているものが編集されるとすぐ反映されるようになります。
Then, quick last word on latency, because I know it's pretty bad, and while preparing the slides I also tried this Y command, and this downloads a lot of metadata from packages, and I noticed this was really bad. So
さっきのページを用意するのに Y コマンドを使ったら依存性解決に時間がかかり、これが必要になるということが分かりました。
So I just want to mention these two and apologize. I guess you all know this.
まあ皆さんこの2つはご存知ですよね。
If not, check it out. For now, it's probably the best options. Like for Prestissimo, Hiraku here sent a pull request. I'm sorry that it's not because I'm on holidays. But no, it's definitely it is one goal to bring that in one way or another, to have like parallel requests. That's definitely important. The packages mirror, that's another problem. Like mirroring the metadata, it's something I would also like to do, but it requires a bit more like infrastructure changes and so on. That might take a bit longer, but I think already if we can use like multiple requests in parallel, then that should fix most of the problem. Because the latency doesn't matter too much as long as you have enough going on at the same time.
まあ、現状では、まあ、この2つプラグインのものとミラーになっているものっていうのがまあいい解決法で、中野さんから出てるプルリクエストについては、まあ、今ちょっと休暇中なんでまだ進んでないんですけども、まあ、そのパラレルでリクエストするっていう方はやっぱりいろんな問題を解決できるということで、まあ、一つの正しい方法ですという話です。であとミラーリングについては、まあ、メタデータをミラーするというのは結構大変だけれども、まあ、それも一つの解決策という話です。
Okay. And I think that's it. Now we have questions, I think. Do you have questions somewhere?
Yeah, I summarized them.
If you please. Question presentation, it's very professional. Okay. It's already in 2 languages as well, so that's helpful. So when does Composer change minor versions? Yes, it is absolutely semantic versioning. I don't know who asked, but yes. In short, basically we just released the 1.2 Monday, I think. Yeah, it went from 1.1.3 to 1.2 because there are new features, so we've gone to 1.2. And whenever we introduce, well, actually, I think when we go for the parallel request stuff, that's gonna change so much internal things that probably this will be a 2.0 because it will break stuff in the API sense, at least internally.
まあ、セマンティックバージョンですって話ですね。で、まあ、そのさっきのパラレルみたいな、変更が大きいものは、マイナーじゃなくてメジャーでやるんじゃないかって話ですね。
I think we already talked about this. Yes. That's a very interesting question because definitely it's a challenge. Especially as I mentioned, it's been 5 years that working on this for 5 years. It's like sometimes you're not very motivated anymore. So I don't know how to answer this.
まあ5年やって5年やるってのはすごい大変で、まあ、そのモチベーションを保つのは難しいこともありますねっていう話ですね。So, well, why did you start? Or why did you join the project?
Well, let's say the first year, you know, it was like a lot of coding. This was great because you're motivated to do it. Then like second year, third year, maybe it was growing like crazy. So you have more and more people using it. It was very exciting as well. And then slowly it turned into this really like maintenance thing where it's about fixing bugs and you know like some new features a little bit, but it's mostly just bug fixing and support and stuff like that. And this it's not very exciting. You know, it's someone has to do it, but at this point, yeah, it's a lot of like sense of responsibility, which I don't know why I have, but and I don't know. Well, also, I mean, it's still fun in some ways, right? Definitely, like you feel good about just seeing that it you know, it's used by so many people, and so it feels like at least you have an impact, which is really nice. Because working on something that nobody uses is not fun. Like I've had some client projects in the past where you know that the project is dead before it even started. You know, like you know this will never work, and this is really not motivating. So that's great. Do you want to go with that?
Yeah. まあ最初の1年とかってのはすごいコード書くのが多くて、まあすごい楽しいですよねっていう話ですね。でそこから次の1、2年っていうのは、まあそのどんどん広がってきて使う人がどんどん増えていく。で今度その次にやっぱりメンテナンスフェーズっていうのが入ってくると、まあちょっといろいろ変わってきて、まあそのまあなんでかわかんないけど、そのメンテナンスするこう責任があるように言われることがあるけど、まあそれはちょっと困るという感じですね。で、まあ一方でやっぱり多くの人が使っていて、それがこう結果を出してるっていうことを見るのはやっぱりすごい達成感があるという話ですね。で、まあそれはそのいわゆるクライアントプロジェクトとかで。なんかもう始まる前からこれダメだみたいなものによりはすごくいいっていうようなそういう話ですね。
And yeah, after that, I guess also the whole community aspect definitely is one big thing. Like I was mentioning earlier, last year I went to 16 conferences, which was exhausting and too much, but at the same time, it was really great, like a great chance to travel, to see places, meet a lot of people from different countries, different cultures, and like also being here tonight, right? It's great because like I can talk to random Japanese people in the street, but it's a bit difficult to interact with anyone. So this gives me a good chance to meet some people, and that's great. I'm really glad for that.
まあ去年は16個カンファレンスに行ってめちゃめちゃ疲れたって話なんですけど、まあ、一方でいろんなコミュニティにあるし、まあ、今回みたいにその日本に来てその、ね、街中で人と話してもなんか難しいですけど、まあ、こういう場だともっといろんな人と知り合える機会があって、それが